That's perfect. Well, this is the start of a best of 5 in Group D in the Resurgence. We have ACCM, who's in the blue, playing as the Incas. We have SongSong, who's in the red, playing as the Poles. This map has 3 rhinos, 3 areas to get berries, and golden stone on either side. And look at SongSong. He's greedy for more.
He wants in to get the lame, and this is something we have seen a lot of times already on this map, that the player is going out for the lame immediately, also getting 3 sheep in the process as well. That is a very successful lame for SongSong so far. And, if you're successful with that lame, that leads you having 4 rhinos versus the 2 from your opponent. So you cannot complain about that one.
Yeah. I mean, I haven't seen many
ACCM
lane
as
games
well.
myself, but ACCM, yeah, just going to steal one right back, I guess.
Sorry to cut you off, T90, but I felt like maybe you missed that one. That was important.
Question is it that effective? I mean, okay, I think you should do it. But if you lose 1 rhino, let's say,
Yep.
and then you still have 2, and then you still have triple berries, is the laming really as brutal on this map as others? I would guess probably not.
I also think so. Like, if people lame me, for example, then I take it a bit more chill because I know I still have 2 rhinos at my disposal. And with 2 rhinos, that's just something you're used to, right? So I don't think the impact is too huge. However, it could help you to up to cast stage a bit faster. And with that, a certain timing attack, which could be very lethal, could be happening.
Sure. Okay, well, the other thing I picked up on this map is, while there is stone and gold on either side, it's that main gold that is the closest, and it is that main gold that tends to be only on one side. So I think scouting, that's crucial.
Yep.
ACCM didn't see the gold, so I don't know if he's thinking, like, it must be on the other side. And then SongSong didn't see the gold either when he lamed, so they got to find that gold.
Yeah. And also what we can see here is SongSong's main gold is also very far forward compared to ACCM's main gold. And that is a huge deal, because main gold is a very important kind of resource to get, and you wanna be able to apply the pressure on the main gold as well from your opponent. That should, in theory, give you a slight edge there. And SongSong going for T90. Yeah, this is a dangerous thing to do. You usually never want to do that.
Yeah. Do you remember when? I think it was you who, forgive me, because you could be on the bad side of this or the good side of this, and I forget.
Okay.
But I think it was Admiral versus Master of Templar Gold Rush, and there was a gate trap, and I forget if it was you who lost the scout,
I lost the
if it
scout.
was you who killed the scout.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
It was against MBL, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, the first, yeah. I lost it. MBL did a great quick walls there with the gates, and the scouts got lost. Yeah, these are the little plays by the pro players who are capable of doing that while also keeping everything going. And this is just beautiful to watch as well, right? Because these are the highlights, so to say.
Yeah, it's beautiful unless it's your scout that's dying, and then it's not so beautiful.
In that moment, I was like, well played, my opponent. I know who I'm playing against, but, it was a good one. So, T90, I'm wondering. Sorry, yeah?
I was just going to say, why did SongSong not take his 3rd rhino?
I think, well, okay, in this case, it doesn't make too much sense that he did not do that, right? I mean, he sees that. Usually, what you see is that players are using 10 villages then on wood on the transition to feudal age. And then they only have 2 or 3 villages under the TC gathering food. And you'd rather have the sheep rotting than the rhino.
Yeah, makes sense.
He has a lot on food still, right? So I don't really have a good explanation for that. Also...
But now it's looking a little better, I guess.
It's, yeah. So, Nina, what are you thinking about the civilizations here? Because that's something we haven't addressed yet.
Well, I mean, I think I like both of them. I know that they had to give civilizations to their opponent with the draft, and that it's extra complicated, but I think Incas are extremely flexible. Poles also can be quite strong, especially if you're kind of incentivized to make 3 mills, because that's just 3 full works you can make farms around for later.
Exactly.
So
that definitely helps a lot, right?
I don't mind it.
Yeah. I'm just a bit confused why many peoples have given Pulse, even though Sunburn is being played, because Pulse for me is one of the best civilizations on this map, right? The fact that they're getting gold while gathering stone kind of allows them or invites them to go for the aggression which SongSong is going for right now, the man-at-arm into tower aggression. And it's not like they are taking a huge cut in their economy. That's just not the thing.
This could be a nightmare for SongSong. The only thing ACCM. The only thing he could really do is kill the Rhino, but he can't kill anything else. And now he's got militia at his base, soon to be man-at-arms, and there's a tower going up. And he should never get through here. Let's see if SongSong notices this.
I think he does not.
Oh,
he does not notice. Oh no, it's quick walling, and he can trap those now.
Trap it. Trap it. Send a villager to the other side. Okay. We had high hopes.
Yeah. Well, in theory, in our head it was already a trap, right? T90.
Yep. Well, we're just so much better than these two, right? Just like we both clearly.
Yeah. There's no question about that. Well, T90, you have been going ham in terms of playing. You've
but I chose the wrong time to make that joke because I did get clapped 3-0 by ACCM. So
very recently, even in this tournament.
Yeah.
Okay, so we have a counter tower coming up for ACCM. I think that should be enough for the defense. And SongSong is overstaying his welcome here. What is he doing?
I think we're seeing some game one excitement. You know, there's,
yeah.
I don't know if you relate, but like the jitters you get like real active, and sometimes you just need to chill out a little bit. And the quick walls from SongSong, very well done under pressure. Yeah, and that's gonna prevent ACCM from taking this tower out too easily.
Yeah, but the huge thing is that there is still one villager capable of hitting the tower, and that one adds so much damage to that. And that was a bit sloppy by SongSong. He was trying to get the quick walls in time, but not successful in doing that. And we see ACCM in the meanwhile. Look, is that a T90 farm? Is that a T90 farm?
That's fine, man. It's fine.
What is that farm?
The best players place farms like that, right?
Man.
So, villager down though. ACCM loses it, and interesting move here from SongSong. Or sorry, I keep confusing the names, but yeah, SongSong. I feel like I disagree with falling back to a defensive tower. I would have preferred to see an archery range.
Yeah, I agree. Because the problem is with towers is they are not that mobile. And you want to have archers on the field in order to have the mobility and to fend off the aggression. And now we see ACCM. He has a great position on the tower. 3 militia and the 2 archers. And SongSong, he will try to engage into that, but he's not going to take too little damage here, I would assume.
Now, Polish villagers do heal up. So with the proper micro here, and SongSong's doing it, he can actually kill all of this and get back on stone. I think the key right now for ACCM is that he senses that SongSong is on his gold. Yep. Because those 4 villagers should be killed by those archers, and I just don't think that he's noticed that.
On the gold, am I blind?
SongSong is on the gold.
Oh, yeah.
To the left.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay. My bad. Yeah, he doesn't have any vision of that as well. And also, that's the reason why when you're walling your towers, do it properly. You don't want to leave on the squares. Is it the squares?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You could call it that. I mean, I don't mind those walls because it makes it more difficult. But just make army, right? Like, he had the barracks, he's had the wood for an archer range, and he just never did it.
Yeah, and also now T90, he's, as you mentioned, all the 4 villagers are going to go down. And ACCM, he has spotted that so nicely.
So I've seen SongSong and ACCM play tons of tournaments. And what's interesting is there's definitely groups of players, Jordan, that outperform themselves and underperform depending on who they're up against. And
100%.
SongSong, for me, is someone who every time he's up against ACCM or backed, he is like 1 or 2 levels below what he's capable of. And I think it's got to be a mental thing. Like he thinks that they are just simply better, and he knows them so well. And so he always goes for stuff which is just crazy. Like that farm next to his tower to the north of his TC right now.
Oh, whoa! Man, this game is the game of farm placements. I didn't even spot that one. That one out of my vision.
He's got no military whatsoever. So
Yeah.
his game plan is simply to farm
Yep.
and build defensive towers. And I think he will be able to make it to Castle Age if this continues, but we'll see if he'll be able to make it to Castle Age anytime soon.
Yep. I mean, with poles, you have the huge advantage to get a very fast food income due to the folwark. It gives you 10% of the overall capacity on the farm's food count. Therefore, also poles is such a strong civilization on this map. But it feels like ACCM has a great lead on this map. He has 11 population more, 6 out of it military, 5 of it villagers. And ACCM, he should be able to go to Castle Age a bit sooner as well.
Yeah, now I do like the idea of the market here. Sometimes when you want to take this stone, which then also brings you some gold income, is your resources look exactly like SongSong's do right now.
Yep.
So I think you've got enough defensive towers where you could justify maybe even selling 100 or 200 stone and then just buying the food to go up to castle.
Yeah. And I think that's also what we are going to see from SongSong now. But the problem for him is these lumberjacks are kind of getting annoyed by these archers as well. And ACCM, you know, he has all the map control. He must be feeling very confident in this map right now. And he is heavily on stone as well. So he has 3 there. He's getting the horse color in, the gold mining upgrade. And related to the point you made earlier, T90, I think it's the combination of 2. One, the mental part, where you see players just seemingly not performing as well as they are used to. And also the gameplay, right? There are certain players you're struggling more compared to other players just because of the playstyle.
Yep. Yeah, and I think like SongSong, I don't know who he qualified against in his best of 5. I don't know if you remember either, but he did not qualify playing like this. I can guarantee it as he just rang the bell by mistake. The nerves, man.
Yeah, SongSong is heavily under pressure here, and you can also see that while his play, he's going for Castle Age, 1 minute 20 seconds away. Nice quick balls by him as well, and he is transitioning into the night play.
Yeah, he's gonna go double stable. I like the decision here. What do you think about the decision from ACCM to keep so many on stone, though? Because he could have just gone crossbow monk, but it looks like he maybe wants to drop a castle.
He definitely wants to put on the aggression with the castle. And I like that move because with the castle on this map, you're able to get yourself such a beautiful map control. And with the castle, you're kind of guaranteeing that you at least have one side of the map, depending on where you place it, right? If you place it exactly above or below the TC, then you have one side for yourself confirmed already.
Oh, this is painful. SongSong's not going to be able to do anything. Like, he can't afford a town center. He can afford... He just clicked +2 armor and then realized he can't do that, so he's going to make a knight or 2.
Yep.
And a knight or 2 is not going to be enough against the crossbows. This whole game has been kind of a disaster for SongSong ever since the villagers went down.
Exactly, and now ACCM is hitting the main gold of SongSong as well, and there are so many villages going down in process. 34 villages against the 42, and we have ACCM having 20 army, while SongSong only 2 in the meanwhile, and he cannot afford anything.
Yeah, also 800 stone for ACCM, so I don't know if he's building up towards 1 castle or 2 at this point. But he's gonna build one eventually.
He will get one, and I'm wondering where he builds it. I think it should be built on the hill on the main gold of SongSong.
I mean, the longer he waits, the more I'm thinking maybe it'll be defensive, because it's not like he doesn't have a position for it.
Yeah, exactly.
He could have placed it already. But now if he starts to lose, this is good from SongSong actually. He realizes he can't fight the other crossbow army, so he's gonna take what he can on this side, and there's the defensive castle.
Interesting. So ACCM, you know, when I'm thinking about the Vietnamese players and their playstyles, it always comes to my head that they like to have it a bit wilder, and they're going for very aggressive builds. But ACCM, he's not that type of player. He likes to play it safe. He's a very meta-orientated player. He's excelling in his beautiful micro with the ranged units. And yeah, it's just very well in the execution.
Yep. Yeah, SongSong and probably Bad Boy. Those are two players from Vietnam who I don't know if Bad Boy qualified. No, he lost to Miguel, I think. But no, anyways, like those two are definitely wilder. They do some crazy stuff. I think we see the crazier stuff from SongSong against better players, so it's very tough for fans to look at this and they might even think like, what is this? Like, this is so radical, it should never work, but it's because they know they can't play meta against players like ACCM, and probably Backed is the other one. Backed can be a little crazy still, but he still loves his meta.
And he is also so good with the range units as well, right? So... in the past, I remember he was one of the wildest out there, but I guess the game has changed a lot, and therefore he had to adapt his playstyle as well.
Could be that, and it could be as players get older, they get lazier too. It's like, I'm not going to take any more risks. I can't do that.
Oh my god, we have a Mangonel in here, and how did he miss 2 shots here?
Oh, well, he does get a shot at the end, though, and he could get another one. And I guess that's good for ACCM, because all ACCM needs right now is he needs to not lose all of his army. He can always heal those up, and he just needs to boom, because he's on 2 town centers. Also, I'd love to see Kameyuk. I think Kameyuk would be really strong.
Yeah, for sure.
He's okay for now.
Yeah. Especially ACCM, he has a 2nd TC already. He's adding the Siege Workshop now as well. And the 3rd TC himself as well. So he will be looking very strong in terms of the economy department, but... T90, do you see what I'm seeing right now on the north side?
I do, and if SongSong, if you're gonna do this, make sure that castle is in his face. Like, this is not a castle you want to place next to the barracks. I think this castle needs to be right where the army is for ACCM. You need to sense that this is bad for you, and you've got to make something happen here.
And there's no way this castle is going to go up. There's no way.
I disagree. I disagree because... there's no sanctity for the monks. Oh, big shot. Okay, I agree with you, Jordan. You were right. That's not enough. You were right.
Well, in theory, it could go up tonight. Now I agree with your previous statement. It will go up. It will go up. No.
I mean, he lost. I was talking to Nilly about this the other day. It bothers me so much that players don't get freaking sanctity, man.
Yeah.
You should never get one-shotted by a Mangonel with a monk. Because
100%.
you should always have sanctity.
Yeah, 100%
and he had
agree.
4 monks, and he should have had 4 conversions. Instead, I think he got 1. And this castle could actually complete now.
Yeah, it will. You were right, T90. Actually, this is so close.
I don't want to brag or anything. Oh, it is close. There's 3 villagers. There's 1 vill.
Maybe I'm right.
It's not about being right, Jordan. It's not about being right.
Who's going to win this one? Who is going to win? One villager. He has 1 villager finishing the castle, and hallelujah. That was a close call, T90.
Well, now it's about being right. Now that I'm right, it's about being right.
I was expecting that one.
44 vills versus 70, and this is why we said the castle needed to be so aggressive, because you know, you complete it, you want it to do damage, and it does very little except give that 1 villager stone to mine, which is a little underwhelming.
Yep. So, I mean, the idea was there for SongSong. He realized that he needed to make something happen, and T90, he's going for horse color now with poles.
That hurts so much.
You must be kidding me.
That hurts so much.
Oh, that is so painful to watch. Yeah, SongSong, he's not having the cleanest game of his life.
I would say going for Rams in ACCM's position would make a lot of sense, because the castle's close enough to yours, and there's no military really for SongSong.
Yep.
So, I mean, then again, he could also, like, walk and go to the bathroom for 3 minutes and come back and still be fine. So, like, I don't know. It feels like he could do anything now. He's killing a ton of villas at SongSong's eco.
He can. The thing is, why I would assume he has not chosen to go for Rams here is that SongSong, he had Mangonels on the field. And if he has one more behind the castle, then all the investment is doomed. But man, ACCM killed roughly 8 villagers here on the gold of SongSong. So we're now having a scenario where ACCM has over double the amount of villagers compared to his opponent.
Yep, and as sad as it is for me, he's not creating... Oh, there we go, the GG. I was going to say, you know, if you don't want to make Rams and you're not creating Kameyuks, you're not spending a lot of food, just go up to Imp.
Yeah.
And he could treb that down. And 30-1 eco KD. ACCM smashed him, but we have to say, Jordan, SongSong gave him the opportunities to do that. He didn't make army.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, he did a aggression with men at arms to towers, but the follow-up, the transition, was just not there. And ACCM, he capitalized on that one. With the 3 militia and the 2 archers, he was able to apply a nice pressure onto the stone. And he followed through very nicely with archers into crossbows. And it felt like the efficiency of SongSong's economy was just not there. And therefore, he fell behind so heavily.
There used to be a time where you could go men-at-arms and towers, and you could hold for long enough.
Yep.
And then you could go to Castle Age. 2022 high-level Age of Empires is just not that time.
No.
You need to have mid-game army control.
Yep.
Otherwise, you're going to suffer here. So SongSong took some risks, but maybe this wasn't the map for him. Maybe he is looking forward to the next map.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure he is going to do that.
All right, perfect. So we got Teutons for ACCM, and then we have Magyars for SongSong. I love Scout Wars, so I'm really hoping we see that. This map is a bit wallable, but also, it's easier said than done, let's put it that way. And the map Gorge, for those that are wondering, has a ton of gold on the hills near the player TCs, and then the Gorge, or the lower elevation, has most of the stone. It does also have shorefish and relics, but usually you don't see a get to that, Jordan. This could be a really aggressive game.
Yeah, and usually we see both players playing it rather defensive, because with all the forests spawning here close to the TC, it allows you to get up the walls very, very safe. Right? It's not like Arabia, open Arabia, where you feel like, where do I even start to wall? There is no chance I can do so. So this is more of a closed map, and I don't know what the meta is on this map so far, because we have seen it all. We have seen scout play, we have seen pre-milled rush, we have seen men-at-arms into archers, we have seen archer openings. It literally has everything to offer. And I was initially thinking that we only see 1 or 2 strategies for this map.
Yeah, I think part of that could also be the way the civilizations work.
Yep.
The fact that you're picking civilizations for your opponent means that they're not playing with civilizations that maybe they're quite as comfortable with.
Yep.
Also, and I think this is a good thing for this event, it's like the whole drush into archers or men-at-arm every game meta.
Yep.
I think that tends to be very strong with 5 or 6 civilizations that we just don't see a lot of here, right? Like, we're not seeing anyone receive Britons. We're usually not seeing Vikings given. I could go down the list, right? So that said, we do have 4 on wood for ACCM, and I was just trying to think about the matchup, and I feel like I wouldn't want to go into a scout war against the Magyars. They have cheaper scouts. They have the extra attack. That would invite pressure from SongSong. So I think maybe ACCM, even though he could go for scouts and Teutons have good stable units, is going to be thinking about something else.
The problem for Teutons in general against Magyars is that they don't have husbandry, and Magyars, they're excelling with their CA. So with Magyars, you want to get to the position where you have the heavy cav archers in the Imperial Age, and then the Teuton player is going to struggle so much against that, because they don't really have any proper tool against it, except maybe the siege units, but they are extremely immobile. And the range units, they are missing Bracer, so they're not really looking too hot as well. And I think ACCM, he will obviously know that, and he wants to get out range units as soon as possible, because that way he might be able to shrink down the numbers in Fuel Age or in Castle Age, where he's still capable of doing so, because in Imperial Age, oh boy, he will not be able to do so with that anymore, with the range units.
Yeah, makes sense. And I think something that is underrated with Teutons in relation to their man-at-arm play is their farm count.
Yep.
That's something that is so important off a range build. That if you're comparing 2 players going for 1 archer range, for example, it's normally 1 archer range, fast blacksmith, farm, 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 farm. And with Teuton farms being cheap, yes, this applies to every single build order, but that can make the difference in the Castle Age time. And then you can maybe get a lead before those cav archers become a threat.
Exactly. And that is the thing I would base my strategy on. I would, with Teutons, I mean, on this map, you could make the argument that as it's a very close map, mobility is not so important. You could make the argument to say, okay, Halberdier Onager, or Siege Onager even, could be the play here. but it is always going to be risky because the Magyar Hustle, for example, which the Magyars have, they are trained without any gold cost if you go for the unique tech, and they are amazing at sniping siege units. So I would not feel too comfortable going into that one if I was the Tunes player. So I would try to make something happen in early stages.
Well, I hope we get there because I love Magyars and I love Magyar Hussar and recurve bow. But man, you might look at SongSong right now and you might say, well, he hasn't scouted his opponent at all. He's playing very defensive, and ACCM has seen everything at his base. But at least SongSong has recognized that this is a risky situation to be in, and he's pre-walled all of his resources except for that wood line, which he could easily do. I actually love that lumber camp position.
Yeah, it's amazing.
So he might get the scouts out, and I don't think ACCM can use this to wall because that starting scout for SongSong is about to get all that extra attack soon.
Yeah, exactly. We see ACCM going up to fuel age now himself as well. He's roughly 1 minute and 30 seconds behind SongSong here. But ACCM, he will be extremely happy with the position he's in because he has all the knowledge he wants to have. He knows exactly where the berries are, where the main gold is. He has not scouted the top lumber camp yet, but it's not the biggest deal. And now the question is, how is SongSong going to follow it up with? He's Magyars, so the likelihood of him going for scouts, especially if he's not on gold, which ACCM has confirmed, is extremely high.
Yeah, and ACCM hasn't actually sent villagers to build a mining camp on gold yet here. So this could just be a lot of eco, but I don't like the fact he's not on gold because you would like to have the potential to, I don't know, make more militia and go for men-at-arms, or even just make a few archers. He might be tempted to try and go for something funky here and go for a stable, and I just don't know if he'll have the resources for any scouts.
Yeah, I'm very surprised by that, T90. Him not going for the gold tells me he's going to go for scouts. And if he's going for scouts, he is opening that path where SongSong, if he's walling himself, which he should be doing, ACCM has no chance whatsoever to deal any damage with those scouts. And then SongSong could transition into the cav archers so easily.
The Spearman was just created from ACCM, and he didn't use it defensively. He's actually sending them forward. He wants to go 2 spears with the 2 militia, but now sending 1 back. And he was able to get some farms down. And yeah, Drush into scouts, unless I've missed something over the last couple years, is just not a build order you should normally do.
No, you don't have. You don't really have the food for that. And a big problem as well, if you want to go, or if you go for the scout play. Oh, is that village? No. If you go for the scout play, you want to have horse color before adding all the farms. And look at that, ACCM does not have that.
Neither does SongSong, to be fair. And SongSong just ate the berries. Don't tell me he actually loses a villager to this.
He will.
Oh, I feel so bad for SongSong.
Yeah, that hurts a lot. That really hurts a lot. And he's taken a bit of damage from the spears as well. Is he able to kill another farm here? No, never mind. And SongSong, I played a few games against him on ladder as well, and he can be very annoying with those scouts. And that's also what he's trying to display here. But yeah, in the meanwhile, ACCM, it feels like T90 that ACCM has managed to deal more damage with those units he has than SongSong has, even though his units are much weaker.
He's got 6 spearmen. He's like, you got scouts? Bring it on. And he's trying to force SongSong into range play. And I think this would probably be the time where you'd normally want to add an archer range. The normal switch for a scout player is to go scout skirm. But I guess if the opponent's got a stable, you don't want to go scout skirm. So I'm liking this more and more for ACCM.
Yeah, and this kind of reminds me of Land Madness, the way this is being played. Sometimes we see one player going heavily into scouts, like for example SongSong is doing this right now. And the other one be like, okay, I have spears, I don't care, you cannot touch me with those scouts. And then we'll have the lead with the economy, right?
Yeah, I'll be interested now to see if SongSong can get the walls down, because ACCM is investing pretty heavily into some scouts, and even getting a blacksmith at a time that makes me think he might be considering forging.
He will do so, yeah.
If the walls are down for SongSong, then Jordan's just, or not Jordan, sorry.
All good. Jorn is next
then-
set T90.
I guess ACCM could, in theory, just be investing into more defense, which could be bad for his Castle Age time.
Yeah. I just think the scouts could, in theory, be dealing a lot of damage, but they need to jump into the base right now. If he is a bit late to that, and I think he will get in there. He will get in there. He will get in there.
SongSong's so unlucky, man.
Oh man, that is so crazy.
This is so unlucky. Like, okay, do you 2K4, 2K5 players have some trick to get the good fortune? Because
no,
I see it all the time, man. Like the favorites always get there one tile ahead.
Yeah, it feels like maybe it's also just the good timing or the experience when your opponent could be walling and trying stuff, but to be completely honest, no, this is luck.
Yeah, well, this is going to be another villager down as well, so ACCM has killed 3 villagers. SongSong will obviously come home and clear this, but he's going to be very frustrated. I would be shaking my head in disbelief, like, come on. I didn't kill a single vill with Magyar Scouts, and I lost 3.
Yep. And ACCM has so much wood banked up in the process, so his gameplay itself is not as smooth as we usually see it from him. But, I've seen this a couple of times when I was playing Teutons as well. I don't know what it is. It must be the cheaper farms, but hallelujah, you're banking up a lot of wood. Look at that, 700 wood almost.
Feels like a good time for ACCM to be walling a little bit. You've just done some damage. You've got the spears. The small wall play is not bad. He'll probably want to add town centers, and maybe it's just his overall approach. Sometimes it's better to play a bit more open just so you have the military and you're not being greedy.
Yeah.
But, there's maybe an opportunity for SongSong with those 4 scouts to finally find a villager kill.
For sure. I mean, those scouts have not paid for themselves yet, and he will try to do something about that. We have Wheelbarrow in already for ACCM, and that is a huge thing because with so many farms out on the map already for him, the Wheelbarrow is really kicking in there, and we see archer range and 2 stables. I'm surprised by that one.
I think what I would do, and you tell me if you agree or disagree, I would go 2 stables, and I would go immediate siege workshop if I'm expecting cav archers.
Exactly. That is the normal approach which I would go for as well, because you don't want to run into the CA numbers. You want to try to shrink them down as much as possible, and you want the opponent to stay defensively with the CA instead of attacking you. So that is the right play. Usually you want to build the siege workshop where the berries are a bit further into the north. And yeah, that's a beautiful place to put the aggression on.
That said, he's got crazy resources, and he's definitely going to get the second town center.
Yep.
What do you think about 2 ranges for SongSong? See, I'm always back and forth on this. On one hand, you want to commit to the cav archers, but sometimes against an eco-civ like Teutons, if you go 3 ranges, you're going to be so late to the second town center that they'll just get a massive lead on you.
Yeah. I mean, for me personally, I think I would go for the 3 archer ranges. I just want to ensure that I get the numbers out as soon as possible. And when you have the numbers, then you will have, guaranteed damage, especially if your opponent is no wall like ACCM is. And the only way ACCM can defend right now is by placing good TCs and defend with soon-to-be elite skirms, but oh boy, that's not going to be too soon.
ACCM has no potential to really do damage with the knights. SongSong was a little faster to the second TC, which even outs our bill count a bit more. Obviously, no wheelbarrow still for SongSong, which hurts, but it doesn't hurt as much because he doesn't have as many farms. So hopefully he'll get that at some point.
Yeah. Husbandry kicking in for SongSong in 25 seconds. We have the skirm switch, and Botkin in their elite skirms is in there soon as well, and he's going for university instead of the 3rd TC, and I absolutely love that move. That is a 2K5 pro decision, and with the university you will be able to get ballistics, which then will also be allowing you to kick off the CA away from your base, and you will not lose any villagers. And if you go greedy 3 TCs and he's having a lot of CA, you will have a lot of potential to deal a lot of damage to you.
And we're going to see 3 TCs for SongSong now. This is where it gets tricky, and this comes back to the commitment conversation we had.
Yep.
Because you've gone for the eco approach with Magyars, and now it just doesn't feel like you're going to have the Cav Archer number to really do anything, and they've got Knights and Skirms. So we'll see if SongSong will struggle to control the game from here. He seems even a little hesitant maybe to move out. You know, it's like he knows that there's going to be some skirmishers out there.
Yeah, it feels like, I mean, he has scouted the archery range, right? So he could be thinking there are skirms on the way, but also if SongSong, you know, the timing is also important to take into consideration, but because there is no way your opponent is committing to Knights, committing to TCs, committing to fully upgraded elite skirms. It's just too much to handle at this point of time. So SongSong now finally going out, and that's something he should have done a bit earlier there.
Well, he should get a villager here, unless life isn't fair. There you go, gets the villager.
Wow.
And ACCM's been waiting for this. He researched Town Watch, which I know is one of your favorite upgrades.
Yep.
And he's got lots of vision, so he knows that something's coming. He just didn't know what direction it was coming from.
Exactly. The only thing which he misses right now is ballistics, and he's getting that one right now. So 55 more seconds until its completion. And oh, ACCM, he will be able to pick up at least one CA here.
Yep. Now, that said, it's still not walled, so SongSong should be able to make it out of here. And I think SongSong will be happy with how this has transpired.
Yeah.
And you know what? Like, normally when I'm thinking Teutons, I'm thinking they've got good eco, they hold off the Cav Archer numbers, they drop a defensive castle, and then they go up towards Imp. But, Jordan, the stone's in the gorge. Yep. So, that castle defense is really not on the cards for either player in this matchup.
Yep. Yep. That's not something which is going to be likely to be seen. Sometimes we see players going for the stone in late Castle Age or even early Imperial Age. And now we have another raid coming in for SongSong on the north side. And the left-hand side, Cav Archer troop is going to do something as well.
Yeah, I love it. Well, no, I'm laughing because this is beautiful. You know, like ACCM's like, I got ballistics now. I've got full armor. I have the units that I need. And yet now the KD is in favor of SongSong. So this is so good from SongSong to use the mobility. Yep. And as we said, that's the weakness for Teutons.
Exactly. And the problem is also the skirms are not scaling well. In Imperial Age, they are not having Bracer. And SongSong, he's going for forward Siege Workshop. While ACCM, he does not see... Oh, T90 barely doesn't see it. It's just one more tile.
I really don't like the fight that SongSong committed to in the north. I wish he would have ran away. And I really don't... Maybe I'm wrong, but I don't like Siege. I would prefer to see 2 stable Knights against the Skirms. Yep. I mean, he's got the 1 stable, but we'll see if the Siege does something for him here.
Yeah, the thing is, the Siege could in theory be easily countered by the Knight play of ACCM. And if you're facing against Skirm and Knight, you'd rather have the combination of Knight and CA instead of the Mangonel. I would say so as well.
Well, that said, ACCM or SongSong is just like, well, why not both, right? Why not both? Because I'm going to do it all. I'm going to make the Siege. I'm going to make the Cav Archers. I'm going to make the Knights. And the position for ACCM is just so awkward because of the scalability, as you mentioned. He's not even building up towards really good skirms in the next age.
Yep.
And he has to defend from this. And I would go all in Castle Age if I'm SongSong. I would never stop producing Knights and Cav Archers.
Interesting. I think it is important for SongSong to get into Imperial Age as soon as possible, because that's where he excels the most against Teutons. So I think what he could be doing here is a fake aggression. I think that would be a bit more better in terms of the play, but by the way it is shaping out, it feels like he's doing what you're suggesting here.
I will say, so I will speak for people who are not at your level. It might just be because you have to be so technical and so at the limit, like towing the line, if you try and go up to Imp behind this type of aggression. That maybe it's just easier to just put your foot on the gas. Just go for it and see what happens. And he's clearing up skirms in the middle. The melee pathing is fantastic. The Knights are not attacking at all.
He's cleaning them.
Come on.
Yeah, this is horrible. This is horrible.
Yeah. He should have killed all those skirmishers.
There was only one skirm killed from SongSong's base to the valley.
Yeah.
It's just crazy.
Yeah, and that's actually a big deal here as we see redemption for ACCM.
Yep.
He knows the siege is a problem, and he's got a big ball of skirms that maybe he shouldn't have survived with.
Yep. And now he has 16 skirms, or no, even more. And I think ACCM, he's in a very rough position. Score-wise, he still has the lead, but it's all about the scalability. And now, as SongSong, he's full into the cast lage play. He's going for light cavalry as well. He went for iron casting with Megas. Yeah, makes sense. Chain barding armor, and he wants to put on the aggression as soon as possible. And you know, ACCM, he has to react to that. And the question is,
why does he not get Sanctity? That's the question. Why do high-level players refuse to get frickin' Sanctity, man? He could have converted the siege there, Jordan. He doesn't have a monk here anymore. And this is an opportunity for SongSong to push in.
did you see that shot? Did you see it?
It was sick. But the monk should have converted the siege. He should have never been able to move in here. And speaking of siege being lost, it does get picked off, but it's still a better army for SongSong right now.
Yeah. We have 31 army against the 24 for ACCM. And ACCM, his quality of the army is just not there compared to SongSong's. And SongSong, he's looking very, very strong in the position right now.
I said the micro could have been better for SongSong there.
Yep.
A lot of his cav archers were caught out. And while the army's still better for SongSong, I think the fight should have led to more knights going down there.
Yep.
But this might be it now. The knights have to run away for ACCM. You could just see how slow they are. It's insane. And SongSong's going for it here. He's going for a university on the front. Keep in mind, he has been taking stone behind this too.
He didn't have ballistics?
No ballistics, no thumb ring, Jordan. And a lot of his units were kind of glitched out there, not fighting half the time. He's got another big group coming forward, though. And there's not a lot of skirmishers for ACCM.
Yeah, this is a tough one because in theory, SongSong should completely shredder this army by ACCM, but the fact that he does not have thumb ring and not ballistics makes it so much harder for him to actually kill those units. And yeah, ACCM, I feels like he's hanging in there by a thread. However, look at his economy. It looks amazing.
48 on food, 30 on gold. Granted, he will need the gold to the left side, which could, in theory, be lost if he loses more fights here. He's also adding more skirmishers, but we see ballistics for SongSong, and he should be able to click thumb ring, but he's still producing the knights. And honestly, I'm okay with that. If he continues to go with knights and cav archers and just has ballistics, I think that's fine.
Yeah. You know what I just spotted? ACCM, he doesn't have bloodlines.
Oh, God, that's painful.
Oh, this is so hurting. That's even worse than not having thumb ring.
Yeah, and you can see Mangonel gets a shot, but this is where the cav archers will really start to pick off those knights. This is also where you need to see that constant knight production from SongSong. He's trying his best to micro.
Yeah.
The skirms are not really getting whittled down by the knights, but he's just waiting for any moment now for SongSong to patrol in with the new knights, and there he goes.
Yeah, but it feels like, you know, both players are at 150 population, so they are so that even in that regard. Yep. Both have the same amount of villagers, and it just feels to me that ACCM, yes, he doesn't have the quality in the units, but he has the better micromanagement.
Yeah, I mean, just look, that was a clear example. SongSong dove in with 4 knights to kill a scorpion, but he left the skirms on the front.
Yep.
Like, there was an opportunity there. Now, he does have stone to drop a castle, and maybe now you fall back to a defensive castle and you start to think about imp, but if I were SongSong, you know, you're the underdog, and you have maybe a better Civ matchup here, I would be a little worried. Because I'd just be like, how did I not push this yet?
Exactly. He's still by no means he's still in a good position. It's also, we're reaching the point where the likelihood of him maybe even overbooming is there. No, but he stopped at 139 villages. So his economy is in a beautiful shape now. And I love what he's doing right now. He's utilizing the knights here on the right hand side. And he wants to get in some raidings done. And I think he should be able to do something nice here with that.
It should kill a lot of villagers. And what this does is this is going to pull ACCM back with something.
Yeah.
And ACCM could either will likely lose his skirms in the middle. And look at SongSong. He knows this. He goes in with the Knights, and now ACCM's got to pull his Knights back, and the raids are still doing some damage.
Yeah. The thing is, the raids are not going to be too effective as Botkin and Ballistics is in for ACCM. So that's not going to be so strong. And the biggest thing is, Bloodlines is coming in for ACCM finally.
Look at that KD here. It's very close, but still feels like another fight that SongSong took and just didn't get the value that he wanted out of it. That said, he's going to drop a castle at home, Jordan, and he's still producing Knights. He's still producing Light Cav.
Yep. And he has a lot of things.
Up to him.
Yeah, he needs to, and he has so many units queued up as well. He's losing the monastery in the front where the relic is, and ACCM.
Jordan.
Yeah, go ahead.
Look at the stable for SongSong. The first stable next to his TC. He's got so much in queue. Like that could have been Imperial Age right there.
Yeah, that's 600 food, something like that. And ACCM, he is 1 minute away from reaching Imperial Age. What is he doing there? Why is he engaging here?
I don't know. I wouldn't agree with that either. We're talking about how important Imp is.
Yeah.
Maybe he's thinking that Imp gets worse for him, so he wants to fight it, but there's going to be a castle here. And ACCM, you're going to lose all your Knights. I don't think you should stay here.
What is he doing? Why would you ever commit here? You're 20 seconds away from Imperial Age. Go away.
Also, why are the Cav Archers not just fighting? Where are they going? Why are they leaving? These are free kills for you. It's a donation.
Oh, come on. And now Thundering is in. At 43 minutes. Yeah, that is just so sloppy by both players, I think.
Well, you could use the word sloppy, or you could say it's intense because it's 190 pop for both, and they're doing so many different things. ACCM's going to TC the right side, so this is the first time he's going to try and take stone. What I'm worried about for him is that ball of Knights in the south. I think most of these are going to die before the upgrades come in.
Exactly. He's about to do a nice raid on the right-hand side. SongSong is defending, but I don't think he will be able to wall everything off. Let's see how well.
Also, SongSong just killed villagers on the TC, so those vills are going down.
Yeah.
So this is lots of losses everywhere, but we are still looking at Magyars with the potential to get big upgrades.
Oh, but still, he's in there on the north side. And now there are a lot of villagers going to go down because ACCM, he has already the full armor on his cavalry. And cavalry is in 5 seconds as well. And the ones on the south side are going to wreak some havoc as well. So ACCM definitely in a great position right now. But he needs to survive now. What SongSong is going to be able to push at him once he gets the upgrades of Conscription, Chemistry, and Bracer coming in.
In a normal game, I think ACCM would be making a castle, he'd be thinking about Trebs, and he'd be going for a push in the middle. But this game, he hasn't really had a lot of stone, so he's just going to build up towards Paladin, Jordan.
Love it,
Paladin.
Love it. That's exactly the move you have to go for, because as Teutons, you don't really have any other option except Paladin. And SongSong's economy, it is just not good enough to allow him to go for the Halberdier's transition. And the CA, they will struggle a lot against the Paladin, especially when ACCM is able to push and add siege to his composition as well.
The thing is if recurve bow comes in, and then if there's light cav to snipe any trebs, like, I'm looking at SongSong's position right now, and if the names were switched, I would prefer it. You know, I have a bit more faith in ACCM.
Yeah.
But I think that Magyars with recurve bow cav archers can definitely hold against Teuton Paladin.
Yeah, for sure. It's just, as you say, it's kind of the names. And SongSong, I mean, he is cleaning everything up. He has 200 population. He has 76 army. And that's
crazy.
Is just amazing for him. We have
also the potential to raid on both sides here, Jordan. He's going in with light cav on the left, and he's got light cav and knights on the right.
Yep.
So I think you're going to have to see 40-50 Paladin for ACCM for me to feel like he's got a chance here.
Yep.
And as he's 15 seconds away from Paladin, big ball on the left side.
Yep. And now these cavalry are dying. I think they're even being one-shotted here. Now Paladin is in, but SongSong still is in a good position here. And we have still 180 population against 180. Now, the next thing which Yeah, like ACCM, he needs to get Siege out as soon as possible. And try to raid more on the right-hand side as well. But SongSong has a nice castle placed there.
Yeah, and he placed a castle on the right, and now unfortunately he doesn't have one on the left. But he's getting heavy Cav Archer now. I still don't think recurve bow is in.
No,
so he should have more attack than this. I think recurve bow is actually priority #1 for me. If I go even more than heavy Cav Archer, if I'm going Cav Archers with the Magyars.
Oh, and a lot of Cav Archers are going to get so many damages done from the Paladins. And he only has... How many Cav Archers does he have totally? 37.
I don't know, but they don't like to fire for some reason. The units just keep stuttering for him, and it's hurting him. And now I'm looking at the queue for ACCM. ACCM's close to getting the stone as well to be able to make a castle. And I like ACCM's position now.
It is so much better, and he's also in on the main economy of SongSong at the main base. And the only thing the CAs have been doing so far... Oh, what? Look at the raid from SongSong in the north.
Yep. This is insane, but there's just so many paladins here. And now SongSong, he can't afford to get recurve bow. Like, he's still going for the Cav Archer numbers. He's going to need to wait until he can clear all this up before he can consider it.
And he's falling behind, below 150 population, T90 and ACCM. He is a bit struggling with gold. He's even going for guilds. And he has not reacted to the raid on the north side as well. What is happening?
Jeez, this is an amazing game, though. This is an amazing game. And I think this is going to swing. They're both at 150 pops. SongSong's villagers can go back to work. Now we can start to think about recurve bow. But now ACCM should be dropping that castle. He should be dropping a castle somewhere so he can either defend himself. Still no reaction to the raid, Jordan.
Are you serious? He lost like 30 villagers. Reaction. Now finally he's reacting. But he lost around 30 villagers there.
I'm checking. The light cav here killed 18. This light cav killed 8. The light cav in the north killed 16. Yeah, the math is spot on there, Jordan. Something like that.
Yeah, 40. Crazy. Imagine 3 light cavs killing 40 villagers. I mean, a lot of things have been going on for ACCM. No question about that. But it's still losing so many villagers to the raid. It's just not acceptable.
Well, you look at the left side now. We could have a castle denied. There's not many paladins for ACCM. That castle's going up. He's waited so long for this castle. SongSong, surely you noticed that, my friend. He's looking on the right side. He's microing the light cav in the north. He doesn't see the castle.
He sees it, but he ignores it. I don't know why. Like, he just ignores it.
Well, you know, maybe... I mean, how does ACCM stop that ball of Cav Archers? So, like, maybe he's going to the wood line on the left, because he must be thinking ACCM's running out of some resources here.
Yeah, this is... The thing is, ACCM, he has not spotted the left-hand side gold, while SongSong has. So, SongSong wanted to rest there, but he was not finding any kills there. And now, the question remains the same. T90 and don't really have an answer to that. How does he ever stop the CA?
Also, still no recurve bow. So it should be 7+5 attack, and it should be 8 range, which makes him even stronger. It costs wood and gold to get that, so you've got to think he's going to be able to do that if he just stops producing Cav Archers a little bit. But even without recurve bow, you can see how hard it is for ACCM.
Yeah, exactly, because the Teutons are just lacking the husbandry, and that is a big deal. And, you know, SongSong, he's enjoying himself. 163 population against this 160 from ACCM. And yeah, he's just getting himself into better and better position. Relic-wise, well, ACCM has 1 relic against the 0 of SongSong. And you know, SongSong, it is not the most important thing to get the relics, because usually with Magyars, even in theory, you can play without gold, because the Magyar Hussar or the Hussar itself, they don't cost any gold. And... yeah, the CA, the most important thing is you just have to try to keep them alive, and then that's all you have to do.
And get recurve bow. For the love of God, get recurve bow. Also, Jordan, he has 3 ranges producing Cav Archers. That is it. One of which is in the middle still. So we got to keep that in mind. But, the ram push for ACCM is going to get denied. So that is a big waste of gold.
That is completely, as you said, T90, wasted. It didn't serve any purpose here. And ACCM, he's really struggling right now. He's trying to get himself up the economy again. He has 130 villages. So that in theory should not take too much longer until he feels comfortable again. But SongSong on the other side, he has 114 villages as well. And I would even claim that this is enough for him to get the lovely army which he needs. And SongSong on the right hand side will be able to spot that stone. And oh, he just barely misses that.
Yeah, and we have hit a point now where they're both super low on gold.
Yeah.
So SongSong needs to keep every cav archer he can alive, and then just focus on hussars. But the right side castle for ACCM will get denied by hussars.
Yeah.
I don't even think SongSong tried to send anything over there. I think it was just by chance that they were there, and that's big for him.
There was a mangonel which he tackled, and the villagers then happened to be there. And we have another raid here for SongSong on the northern side. The castle has been trapped down, and T90 feels to me that ACCM is running out of breath.
Yeah, I mean, if he cannot make Paladin, he cannot win this game. He'd be going into skirmishers, which wouldn't work, and also Halb wouldn't work either. The castle on the right's the only thing that makes me think that maybe he could do something, just because it will distract SongSong, but still, I think SongSong will win the main fights, no problem.
Yep, and also the big tale here is that he has 80 army against the 40 of ACCM. And ACCM, there's no way he can hold these 80 military units. And look at how many CA he has. He has 50 CA here in the middle. And they are going to get the recurve bow, finally, T90, which you have been asking for.
Yeah, and Parthian as well, which is the only other tech he's missing, I think.
Yeah.
Those cav archers are just impossible to stop. And I love SongSong's choice. He's like, all right, I've got my CA mass. This is what I need to win the game. I'm going to do more damage to my opponent with hussars. He's got plenty of food, so he can make more hussars, and he can throw these things away no problem.
Yeah.
It's a perfect timing on this attack, and I think ACCM might be forced to call it here shortly.
Yeah, he will have to, right? And also with the Parthian tactics, you deal 2 more extra damage against the soon-to-be halberdier. And yeah, it's just like Teutons really struggle without gold. Where Magyars, they shine a lot without gold. As I mentioned, CA, you keep them alive, and then you have the buffer of Hussar or Mega Hussar even.
I think we'll see, with a few more hussars in the main fight, I think we'll see a pretty easy push for SongSong. But he doesn't have to take any risks here. He is up against a player who, you know, he has a lot of belief that is better than him, so he's going to be as patient as possible.
Yep.
And I think that's the correct play. He's going to get relic number 3 now, SongSong. This is more like it. When we watched game 1, we were disappointed because we knew what he's capable of.
Yep. Exactly. And now it feels like he stepped it up and he manages to deliver. And T90, you said that he wants to play safe. You know which tech he's going for, which kind of is the indicator for that as well. He's going for crop rotation.
Let's go. Yeah, those farms are going to last forever. Actually, funny, a lot of his farms are about to reseed, too. He's got like 14, 9, 10. I don't know if he looked at that. I doubt it, but...
No.
Good timing.
Yeah. And yeah, there's no way ACCM has any chance to stop this CA ball. I mean, he still has 160 population. You know, with 160 population, it feels wrong to tap out of this one. But it's all about scalability and longevity. And now the Hussar raid on the left-hand side is coming in as well, and is going to take a lot of villages in the process.
It really tells you how good these cav archers have been, that SongSong has only had 3 archer ranges this whole game. And he's still producing out of the one in the middle. Like, those are the only 3 ranges he's had, and yet he still has this big ball, because it's just so hard to stop. The raids on the left-hand side, this could be it. Good quick walling there from ACCM. He's actually going to kill a bunch of hussars.
Yep.
But that doesn't mean that he still has any chance from what's to come towards his base. The Trebs push forward for SongSong, and a statement castle is going to go up right there in the middle.
Even going for murder holes, we have 124 population for ACCM. SongSong has 190. He is pop capped, and yeah, I think this is just the moment where I'm that kind of impatient person waiting for the GG from ACCM.
How dare you? We casters, we never, ever question why people don't call it the GG.
Okay, T90, show me the
So
way.
you need to learn.
How do you cast now the remaining, let's say, 2 minutes?
Oh my god, ACCM's got a Teutonic Knight. He's moving it in on the right side, Jordan. Look at this. Look at him go.
I have it fully zoomed in. Continue,
He's
T90.
got
I'm
he's
learning.
got armor too. That's a tanky boy. There he goes.
Wow,
Oh,
that is amazing. Okay, I'm learning, Tina. I'm learning. So whenever you feel like the game is completely over and you feel like they're wasting the time, you just focus on the little things, right?
No, I just do that all the time.
Ah, okay.
I focus on the dumb stuff all the time. Now that was over for a while there. ACCM wanted to make sure there was 0% chance, and
Yep.
it was a
Yep.
very good game. I mean, it's a tough matchup, but remember, you do pick the civilizations for your opponent, and I think it'd be unfair to say Civ win because SongSong fell super far behind. He lost 3 villagers in this game, and he had to bring it back with awesome mobility, and I love how that game developed. We had Dark Age aggression. We had quite a bit of feudal age aggression. Then in Castle Age, we had different army compositions. We had what I could consider a bit of an all-in Castle Age with tons of units queued up.
Yeah, for sure.
And patrolling in, and then we had the full imp battle as well.
Yep.
Even the Teutonic Knight, it was a perfect game.
Yep. Whenever you see Teutonic Knights from Teutons, then you're like, okay, this game had it all. It just felt like it's so interesting to see if you have players playing on the ladder and then have them play in tournament matches. Most of the time, for the majority of players, it feels like they're not able to perform as high as they usually do. And we also saw a little bit of mistakes from both players here, which usually don't see. Like, for example, ACCM, he had such a good position, and I would even claim that he was about to win it, but then the 4 light calf came in and destroyed him completely.
If everything played out the same way on Arabia, I think SongSong dies simply because ACCM would have been able to have stone to treb down the castles and the buildings behind a paladin push.
Yeah, for sure.
But, SongSong, I mean, he did a really good job. He was sending in light cav knights to check all the stone piles. So he did a good job delaying the castle from ACCM. And it kind of felt like SongSong's army control, it almost looked like there was lag, right? like sometimes the units just weren't firing and moving with speed. And so I think a lot of that, like you said, they are not playing a ladder game anymore. This is not for just points. This is for pride. This is for cash. There's pressure. They know people are watching. So anyways, 1-1 here between the two Vietnamese pros. All right, 3, 2, 1, go. Here we are, game 3. I don't know how much you just caught, but basically just said both these civilizations look good for this map.
Oh, yeah,
which is supposed to be a mix of land and also water.
Yep, totally agree. So we have SongSong here playing in the south, and the red trunks as Malay. And on the north side, we have ACCM playing Resurgence, and we already see a big difference between the approaches. ACCM is going for the TC right away at the center spot, and SongSong, he has migrated to the north side at the wood location.
SongSong made a big mistake here, which I think would be re-worthy. Yeah, he sent his villager that he's now sending to dock to the TC first, so he could be docking already.
Exactly. That's going
to delay him.
Yeah, that is a huge mistake. He doesn't have the capability of restarting, because in this tournament, you don't have the restarts, but I totally agree. And I think he has not practiced that build on this map too much. That's why mistakes like that happen. And it's also hard to practice this because there are 18 maps in total for this tournament. And, I've heard already some people complaining, Jordan, that is way too much to prepare for. I'm not calling out anyone, but, doubt.
I was going to say, if it's complaints, it's either Gamer Legion or AM. So I just thought of those two teams.
Yeah.
Well, Malay have one of the most satisfying bonuses, and they have lots of vision on their docks. There's just something about that which feels good, so he's going to be able to see the fish there.
Yep.
So 2 fishing ships on the way for SongSong. And what do you think about the differing choices for the town centers, Jordan? Because I think both have their pros and both have their cons, I guess.
Yeah, I think I have to ask you the question because I'm, I'm the player of the tournament, so... I don't wanna reveal too much input there.
Well, okay, so maybe we could talk about it later. So I have only heard input from other players.
Yep.
Who I will also not tell you because they're also playing in the tournament.
Yep.
And other players seem to think as long as you don't do what SongSong did here and delay your dock, that it's best to TC the wood line simply because, well, you can kind of see it now. You have to stop producing fish to place a lumber camp, and it gets awkward.
Exactly.
So, like ACCM and TC in the middle, which does mean he gets to villagers faster, but it should mean he falls behind in fishing ships. So, I think I prefer what SongSong has done here.
Also, the thing is that ACCM, he will be able to go up to fuel age a bit faster, I would be assuming. Because he was placing the TC there first. So, you know, if you're going for water play, it's hard to say. I've played this map maybe 10 times in my life, so it's hard to make a proper judgment what really is better. And I think after we see 50 more games on this map, we can have a review and say, okay, this is definitely better now than the other one.
Yeah, and it might also depend on the Civ matchup too, and your approach. Like if you have Mongols, for example, you want to take the hunt faster. Do the elephants always spawn kind of towards the shoreline? Like if you look at the elephant that SongSong has near his huts, do they normally spawn that position, or do they sometimes spawn closer to the wood?
Usually it is the way it is on SongSong side, I would say. So if you're going for the wood in the north, the sea in the north, then you will not have as many elephants as, for example, if you build the TC in the middle.
SongSong's gonna forget his building here. He has made 2 big mistakes in this game.
Yeah, that's
He
huge.
wants to go feudal age, and he forgot to make a second building. His first Dark Age building was the dock. He's actually got 2 docks here. So he's got 2 docks. So he's planning to fight on water, and because of the late lumber camp, oh, this is so late now.
Yeah, I mean, he is Malay. He will be able to up very fast, and he's only going to be roughly, 35 seconds behind his opponent. But still, this could have been easily prevented.
Yep. But thankfully, his Civ bails him out a little bit, and still has 2 docks, so that confirms that both players will be fighting for water. As we see ACCM doing the same. But you know, I like Malay here. I like Persians. Persians with the higher HP docks, though, so I think it's easier for Persians to stay on water over the long term. If this game turns into land focus, I would still expect ACCM to have some docks up.
Yep, for sure. And the thing is, it's always going to be super annoying, even though, in theory, if you're winning water, it is so hard to clean up those docks. And especially when you see a flag on the dock, it could be either a fishing boat to debate you over investing into the water, or it could be 2 demos, 4 fire galleys, and you're going to be crushed if you're not investing into water. So that's why it's so hard to fight against the Persian dock here. And they're, if I'm not mistaken, also being produced a bit faster, aren't they? 10%, something like that?
It's got a faster work rate, and then also more HP. Which is that combined with Persian TCs having the same. And then also having, and also, what was it?
He's adding fishing boats instead of fire guns.
Who is?
ACCM.
ACCM? Ooh. Yeah. Well, he didn't scout the second dock. And maybe he thought, oh, Malay is later than me to the next stage. So he maybe isn't fighting for water. But yeah, that I would have to say I disagree with right now.
Yeah, for sure. He's adding fire galleys after that. So if he is in theory capable of holding his ground on water, then it is definitely worth it. But right now it feels like a misplay.
I guess we'll see, right?
Yep.
I guess we'll see. SongSong will have a bit more on the way of water in terms of aggression. We see a big wall for ACCM. I love how he's done that. Same for SongSong.
Yeah. Love it as well.
So, and also even going out to take additional zebra. ACCM's camels found him, but he's going to make another mill over there. And I can't disagree with that either, to be honest.
Yeah, because usually when you see your opponent heavily on water, the likelihood of him also in the meanwhile transitioning into land aggression is just so small that plays like that are worth it. And in worst case, at this point, you maybe lose 2 villagers if he really made the switch to archers. So it's definitely a good risk to take, I would say.
Big moment here for SongSong. He was hitting the fish for ACCM. ACCM had to react to that. And now he's defending, but he has the ships to defend. He's just not microing it here. And if he can get the repair in on that ship, it'd be huge. And it looks like he'll save it.
3 HP.
There's a demo though, Jordan. Oh, so much could die here.
Oh no. He's splitting.
I mean, the demo is not going to connect in a way I thought it would, and it's a decent demo actually.
But I counted demo.
A demo in response.
Yeah. That one was not too successful as well, though.
Demos, man. You know what's the most annoying thing about water maps is, Jordan?
Fire galleys.
No. Keep guessing.
Fire galleys. I have my opinion on that.
No, it's the dinging, bro. If you ever play water maps, every time you click a dock, there's a ding. Every time you click a ship, there's a ding. Like there's no bells on the dock and there's no bells on the ships. And it's just ding, 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 ding. Just constant dings. I hate it.
Seriously, I think now that you mention it, it annoys me.
Yeah, it's gonna bother you now.
Yeah, it's going like I've never paid attention to that. But now that you said it, it's like, okay, every time I will hear a ding ding now as well.
Well, SongSong's cornered here.
Yeah, and he's going to lose.
This is going to be bad. Yeah, this demo could connect, and this also means that ACCM's additional fishing ships paid off a little bit, at least.
Yeah, for sure.
It certainly didn't hurt him.
Yeah,
so.
for sure. I'm just wondering, like, yeah, water will be lost. Or SongSong, I would just be imagining. And if we're taking a look at the transitioning, we have SongSong having a blacksmith, a market, so we will not go for military aggression right now. And ACCM here is adding a market as well, so a very, very passive game by both of them on land. And SongSong, he's returning the favor. He's killing a lot of fishing boats in the meanwhile.
Yeah, he recovered nicely here.
Yep.
You know, it's right when it looks bad for SongSong, he ends up turning it around. There's a little bit of that in the previous game too.
Yep.
And he ends up recovering, and he's gonna, I think, rush up to Castle Age here shortly. Will advance faster. His docks are still up, so I would possibly, and maybe you disagree, Jordan, but if you've invested this much to water, I wouldn't even mind a third dock if you're going faster Castle Age.
As the Malay player, or or the ACCM,
as
or
the Malay
in general, as the Malay?
Yeah, I mean, if there's already this much on water, that said, he has killed most of the fish, so maybe not.
That's the thing. There's not too much fish anymore. You can make the argument for Malay to have it worth it anyway, but yeah, my gut feeling would tell me, nah, don't do that. That would be an overinvestment. And what I learned from all the nomads, like the 1-1 nomads I've played in my life, not transitioning into land food economy soon enough can really cost you the games.
Well, he's had the food eco, but archers and spearmen for ACCM are going to hit these villagers on the mill, and this is part of that risk in taking this area, or sorry, TCing the wood line, right? Because he's not close enough to save himself, and so he's got to run down towards his docks right now.
The camel spots
that said, he will be in Castle Age way faster here.
Yeah, he will be way faster, but the camel spots these 3 exposed villagers, and all of them are having lovely food in the hands as well. So, yeah, ACCM, he will be obviously very happy with that catch. But, as you said, T90, SongSong is way faster into Castle Age than ACCM. And SongSong's approach right now is adding the second TC. And I would even assume him to add the third TC pretty soon as well, because that's something he's really loving.
Okay, so I think SongSong, and maybe it's hard to say this is a mistake, but man, he should have dropped off the food at the mill.
Yeah,
the villagers were going to die.
Yeah.
They each had 25 food.
Yeah.
That would have been huge right there. So he actually can upgrade his navy because he's going for the town centers right now, but he's still producing on water. So it's interesting. I feel like if the Malay player would win water, they could always add fishing ships and add fish traps in the coast area, which I think would be important.
Yep, for sure. But it feels like he's not really too sure. Okay, so he finished with the 6 fire galleys, and that's the amount he's going to be satisfied with. The camel of him is going to go down against the ACCM's TC, and ACCM, he has added 2 stables, and the camel, it saw the 2 stables. What a clutch scouting.
Yeah, that's huge. And that honestly, that might have been auto scout for all we know.
100%. 100% it did.
It feels like it could have been, but I guess
Yep.
Auto Scout tends to start in the right corner, Jordan. So maybe we have to give ACCM credit for that. And he
No
knows
way.
what's coming now. He's 3 TCs. He should get a Vil lead.
Yep.
And he's going to make some monks for at his base.
Yep. Yep. Exactly. So SongSong, he is positioned very, very nicely. And now the question is, what is he going to be able to transition into? Both players are going for War Galley upgrade. And that is very surprising to me, T90, because at this position I would be like, I don't care about water anymore. It's not relevant. And I will just focus on land.
Do you think that has something to do with the fact Malay is here, though?
Yeah,
because I think SongSong's like, if I control the water, I can have 3 TCs and I can also have fish traps that last me forever. I think that might be in the back of their minds right now.
Yep, you're definitely right about that one.
Also, there's 2 demos in that one dock for ACCM, and he's trying to group up SongSong ships together so he can use them. But SongSong has been paying pretty close attention to this.
Yeah, and now we have another demo kicking in here, and it feels like ACCM will have the lead again on water. Man, this is the fire galleys. Tina, how do you feel about the war galleys and fire galleys, fire ships, fire galleys?
As much as I don't enjoy the fire demo meta, the balance is much better these days. Like nowadays, galley opening is actually an option. It felt like 2 years ago that just never was in our meta, and it was just always fires.
Yep.
So as much as like I miss the galley dancing, I actually think the water meta is pretty good, and I like it in these situations especially. It's a nice little mix as you try and boom up on land, and this is a nice game and a nice series here, Jordan.
For sure.
This is really cool.
Yeah, we have ACCM now adding his 3rd TC. In the meanwhile, he's also adding Siege Workshop in the front, which I absolutely love. That one will give him so much map control as well. And man, did that camel scouted the Siege Workshop of SongSong. So the camels on Auto Scout most likely have provided a lot of information to their host.
Yeah, there was a big demo or 2 for ACCM, but not big enough. SongSong is producing like crazy out of these docks. And now I'm kind of with you. If you see that Siege Workshop, now I'm thinking like, maybe make your own Siege Workshop. Maybe use your wood and gold for something other than water right now.
Yep, exactly. Also, SongSong, he has 11 minutes TC idle time. And that is because he is not adding the farms he needs to continuously produce out of these 3 TCs. And he's investing into something which will not give him any reward.
Yeah, and the demos for ACCM have been so clutch, and the transition for ACCM, remember he killed villagers on land with the archers. He's on the 3 TCs. He's got not amazing, but good farming eco, and now he's applying pressure too. So the only bad thing for ACCM is he's about to lose his siege, and it's very possible that SongSong would just drop a castle here.
He has 595 stone in the bank, so there's just very close to it. And the good thing is for ACCM, he's Persians, and we talked about that very briefly, T90, and I think you were cut off. The TCs are also producing the villagers faster. In Castle Age, 15%, if I'm not mistaken. And that is obviously giving them a huge boost in the village account and therefore also in economy. And both players, they're so neck and neck in terms of the score. We have 61 villagers for SongSong, 77 for ACCM. And also this time, ACCM, he's taking care of this, his economy upgrades. And yeah, we should be going into a very equal game into Imperial Age, I think.
Yeah, and that's not a castle you really hate to see if you're ACCM, because you know your opponent's not fishing heavily. You know that your Vil count's got to be decent, and Karambit Warrior is not something that scares you right now. So you can just go to stone yourself, and then your hope is to make your own defensive castle before any pressure comes forward, and I think you can do that.
Ideally, ACCM gets a castle where the siege workshop of him is right now, because that would be perfectly in the center. But that's also risky to do, because, you know, against melee, they're upping to the next age 80% faster, so it's not a risk you want to take where you're up slower than your opponent and he's trapping down your castle. So we're kind of in a phase where both players are chilling a bit. They want to get their economy up and running. ACCM is having 3 TC so far, adding more farms, while SongSong, he's expanding on the south side on the gold with the 4th TC.
6 monks, no sanctity. I swear to God, I'm gonna scream. Like, if you have 6 monks, that would cost you 600 gold. You should spend 110 gold to get sanctity.
Yeah.
Should you not? Is that not the safe play?
Usually when I have 2 monks, I do that.
Yes, thank you, Jordan. Nilly and I talked about this the other day.
Yeah,
there were like 3 or 4 monks. I was like, get sanctity. He's like, is it worth it? I'm like, yes.
If you think about it, it gives you 50% more HP on your monks. And the most important thing is, they are not getting killed by one shot of the mangonel. Yep.
He's just running out right now. It's funny, those monks are going to kill that villager, and he just offed himself there.
Yeah, it's like, yo, there's too much for me to handle. And we indeed see the castle coming up for ACCM at the position which I was mentioning earlier. And he also... Wow.
Well, I say wow because that could have so easily been denied if SongSong wouldn't have run through the middle.
Oh, yeah.
So it was very risky for ACCM to place that, but not risky in the sense that the melee player will be faster to imp, because right now SongSong's producing tons of vills with only 200 food in the bank.
Yeah, he has... yeah, it's not looking too good for him right now to get into Imperial Age, and ACCM, he's flirting with the idea to go Imperial Age himself. And Persians, they have a bit of a faster imp timing as well compared to the other civilizations because their TCs are working a bit faster. ACCM, he has to defend this aggression there. As far as I know, T90, maybe I'm wrong on that one, he doesn't have redemption yet. So he will be able to defend that one, ACCM is. Especially if SongSong is not looking.
SongSong, if you look back at his eco in a moment, he had 2 knights, 2 archers, and a spearman that actually made it past his TC and castle.
Yeah.
So he's got all these idols back there.
Yep.
And he's really struggled, actually, to expand with farms. He's got 800 wood. He really needs to pull like 10 villagers and make farms, I guess, to the right of his base. He's almost too compact right now.
Yeah, and that is also one of the big disadvantages when you're going for the TC in the north. You're running out of space. So you have to... not only expand to the north side, but you also have to expand to the south side. Because there, if you compare it to ACCM space, he has so much space which he utilizes to place the farms. And now we have SongSong. He's going forward with 20 villagers.
This is like... it feels like this is 10 minutes too late, you know? Like, if this castle would have gone up before... then it's a crazy game. But now you've got no sanctity on your monks, so your monks do, like, nothing.
Yep.
And if you drop this castle here, you're just going to get trebbed down at home. But he doesn't know that. I don't think he knows ACCM is up. So I hope this castle goes up, and I hope it makes it crazy.
Yeah, it will go up. It would really surprise me if it doesn't get it up. I mean, he has 20 villagers
20
here.
vills, yeah.
Like, you cannot. Even Dal would not be able to manage to not get that one up.
I'm not sure if I agree, but
I was trying to make it really exaggerated, but yeah.
Here come the light cav again. Light cav are not gonna help here.
Is that a castle, T90? It's an
Thank God he sent 20. Thank God he sent 20, because if he brought 10, it would not go up, but it will go up here. He's just lost so much in the process.
It will go up, yeah. Oh, if he had 17 or something, it would not have gotten up.
Now, here's the problem. Your opponent's in the Imperial Age. And now you're like, you protect that castle? You don't know what to do. There's nothing there that it... In fact, the villagers don't even know what to do. They're like, I guess we'll make siege.
That's the follow-up.
Yeah.
And the castle is not bothering for ACCM as well. The best is maybe it's denying 2 farms. 2 farms. Or 15 villager kills? No.
Not worth it.
Yep.
But I do think that he sensed, oh god, I'm behind. I need to do something crazy.
Yep.
I think the sense was correct because he is behind. And we will have trebuchets from ACCM on the front.
Yep.
Which could lead to some big problems for SongSong at his base. And then it's easy enough for ACCM to also send trebuchets to that new castle.
Yep.
ACCM's also making fast fire. He's so worried about there being fish traps on the water from Malay.
Yep. And you know, a good way to prevent that is to place outposts on the dock. Because if you see the fish traps, then yes, I understand that concern and you want to invest. But if you don't see that, then that's wasted resources. However, ACCM has Hustler in already, so that's kind of an indicator that your economy is looking lovely. SongSong in the meanwhile, he's trying to defend with pikemen. He wants to switch to the halberdier as well. But I'm just thinking if he's going for the trash bows and Hustler play, SongSong will struggle to deal against that right now with the economy he has.
Yeah. I mean, pikeman is the play, but you're just prepping the opponent to go hand cannons or even trash bows, like you said. I would personally prefer to see hand cannons. He's got the gold for it, and oh man, all that was left of the forward villagers except for one, goes down there for SongSong. Yeah, that castle still is definitely looking out of place.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, in theory, it's looking so well and so good, but that one is going to go down now with the trebuchet coming in. And SongSong, he's just so exposed on his main base here.
Yeah, this is all due to ACCM's amazing transitions earlier, the damage and focus he had on land. He didn't forget about water either. I mean, water was something he didn't want the Malay player to have, and he's going to deny it, man. He's going to deny it. We can argue if it was worth it, but...
yeah, tonight I think neither of them has forgotten about water in this game.
Clearly, right?
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, now you have to go bomber cannons if you're SongSong, and you have to hope that you can snipe the siege and push back the castles.
Yep. There's a castle defensively coming in for ACCM. What is this castle? I mean, it's defending his farm economy, but yeah, it is a very defensive castle, let's say it like that.
Yeah, he's worried about the 2 light cav that are going to pop out of there.
Yeah. Maybe Karambit warriors, but yeah, it's unlikely. And T90, I think 2-0 for you. He's going for hand cannoneers instead of the trash bows. But who's counting the win and the losses?
Yeah, that's not important. We're a team, man.
Yeah,
we're a team. All right?
Yeah. 2-0.
This isn't like when you. This isn't like when you play with Gamer Legion, where you know they blame each other all the time and say, "What happened to my team? We work together here."
Yeah, that's a problem for me. I'm just so used to that environment that I cannot function out of that anymore.
Well, hey, I mean, if you want to leave Gamer Legion, we could form our own team. I'm sure it'd be fantastic. I'm sure the results would be incredible for you. It'd make you look really good. Let's put it that way.
yeah. I'll have a thought about that one.
Okay, yeah, just think on it, and you know, don't even respond. Yeah.
Don't even respond. That is a good one. Don't even respond.
It's like the classic. I don't know. You're a bit more smooth than I was, but like in like high school, I was so like anxious to like ever to like ask out a girl.
Yes.
I literally it's like the classic. You ask them and you're like, but if not, it's okay. You don't even need to say. You don't even want to hear the rejection. So you give them the out. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah. You know, the moment when you said that, I was like, okay, that reminds me of how it was in the past with girls. And now you come up with that story. So yeah, I can perfectly relate.
I wasn't alone.
No. We all went through that one, I think.
Oh man, massive bomber cannon shots.
6
ACCM's got to be careful here.
Yeah. I mean, he has a massive score lead, right? But those bomber cannons from SongSong, they have been extremely effective.
Yeah, and I think he can take out the trebs.
Yep.
And SongSong also has had, well, I say he has had because it's getting castled, but he had control in the south too. Of all that gold.
Yep.
So good job from ACCM to notice that and put a stop to it.
Yeah, for sure. I think the biggest tale of this game is that finally ACCM has taken control of the border.
It's so important. Imagine if he goes cannon galleons now. Oh, GG.
All the south side is completely exposed to that, right?
I mean, I wish we had a number for how many resources they invested into it.
And then the
reward. It has to be in the thousands.
Oh, at least. We have... You know what the thing is about SongSong? He still manages to get himself into a very healthy population, but it feels like the entire map control is on ACCM's side. And he's about to lose the south side. SongSong is, with the castle being pushed, and the hustlers are going to come in as well with these 2 stables. And it feels like SongSong is just out of breath here. Yeah,
it feels like he's, as I like to say, he's treading water, but he's still going to drown. Like he still has no chance here.
He's treading water, but he's still going to drown. Nice.
You know, I don't know if that's like a familiar word.
Treading? I've never heard treading. I've never heard treading.
So like when you're... So like it's called treading. It's a confusing word. Treading is when you're like swimming in place. That's what treading water is, and so that's the phrase anyways. I don't know what the German word for that would be. Or if there's even a word for that.
It's like treadmill, but treading.
Yeah, kind of. I don't even know how to spell it, to be honest. But yeah, that's the word. Trust me. I mean, you have amazing English. My German is not so good. So
yeah, I will just leave out the fact that one of my chat people has given me the suggestion of treadmill, but you know, I take the compliment.
Yeah, there we go. It's all you. What a game, though.
Yeah.
What a game. I think the word that we touched on earlier, which usually describes these types of maps, is just transition. I'm sure you thought I was going to say tread, but no, transition.
When you started with the T, I was like, okay, it's coming with treading now again.
Yeah. No, but thinking back to the transition, SongSong was immediate 3 TC, but tons of TC idle time, and really struggled to keep those TCs working throughout Castle Age.
Yep.
And then ACCM was able to transition from water into the second TC, into some land aggression.
Yep.
He had a good mix.
Yep.
And I think that mix rewarded him in both water and land, and ultimately got him the win.
Yeah, and I think for hybrid maps, as you mentioned, T90 transitioning is the most important factor. It's not like on land maps, on water maps, where it's kind of straightforward. But yeah, transitioning is so important, and don't forget the treading. And one thing which I personally think is one of the hardest skills to learn is when do you add the third TC, right? Because in the past, it always been like, okay, once you get Castle Age, you add extra TCs, 2 of them, and then you have the 3 Ts, and you will start to the boom. But however, the game has changed so much that you have to invest so much more into army that you will not have the food to produce out of 3 TCs, and you have 275 wood invested into TC instead of investing into farms, which will have an impact on your village production. And therefore, sometimes it's much better to have 2 TCs, but have them constantly producing than have 3 TCs and, you know, have a lot of TC all the time.
All right, 3, 2, 1, go.
Let's go. Nice.
Here we are. We've got SongSong playing as the Slavs. Again, the civilizations the players play as for this tournament were given to them with a Civ draft. And he made the decision. It was the final pick to give ACCM Vikings when Arabia was in the pool. And I recall being a little surprised by that.
Yeah. 100% agree. I mean, Vikings... What has really changed to the S-tier Viking compared to how it is now? The only thing is literally thumb ring. And I don't think it is such a big deal, right? Thumb ring is obviously a huge tag for the ranged units, but it's not what made Vikings so strong. What makes Vikings so strong is that they are getting wheelbarrow and handcart for free immediately upon reaching fuel age or / castle age.
Yeah, and honestly, with the change that they made, and I think overall, like, it was probably a better change because they're just trying to incentivize a little bit more infantry change with our play with Vikings. But the thing is, they have more HP now in their man-at-arms. So, like, everyone was like, oh my god, Vikings are OP, man-at-arm archer. But they actually, with the change, made it so the feudal age man-at-arms are even stronger. So, yes, they lack thumb ring, and yes, there is a point of the game where they might need to switch into infantry. But that's not where Vikings were dominating people. Vikings were dominating people in the feudal age and in early castle age. So SongSong has his work cut out for him here.
And one of the craziest strategies to go through with Vikings is to have the 3 TC boom. Go for fast imp, because with the handcart, your farmers are going to be so exponentially better compared to other civilizations. And then with the fast imp, go with the arbalest. And then try to make the game ending right there. And it is still a viable strategy. And you know, I feel like some people are underestimating the powers of Vikings still. And I think ACCM, he's going to be very happy with that civilization there.
We've definitely had instances where we have questioned players' civs,
Yeah,
right?
wow.
Like civilizations that they've given to the opponent. But also, I think from my experience, it is also very easy to blame it on the civ afterwards. Like when I played ACCM afterwards, I looked and I was like, I shouldn't have given him this civ. And then I thought about it. I was like, there's no way all 3 of his civs were good. I'm pretty sure he's just really, really good.
Yep.
So it's a mix of that too. So we'll see. I do have a question for you though.
Okay.
If you had to pick the worst 3 civilizations for Arabia, what would you pick?
Spanish, Goth, and maybe Burmese.
Interesting. Okay. So
But no,
the reason I asked is because I asked some other players who I won't. It's actually really important I don't say who said this because these players are playing in the event and you literally give people civs in this event. But I had asked other players, and one player said that they think Slavs is worse than Burmese.
Oh, I would not agree there.
Yeah, it's interesting because I guess, because of the man-at-arm archer and the early feudal, but I think Slavs might be, if they can get the farms rolling, Slavs are still a really sick civ.
Exactly. And they have great hustlers. They also have the siege onagers. They go with the halberdiers. It feels like they have too many tools to fight against Burmese, for example. Because
Wait, okay, siege onager. When's the last time you played Arabia and went SO with Slavs?
Every day on my stream. Are you not watching my stream T90?
Oh, okay. I didn't realize you were noob bashing on your stream. I thought you were playing ranked games.
Oh, okay. I see that point. But, I was just trying to make the Slav over Burmese point even stronger into my favor. I failed. You pointed me out.
It's fine. But it goes both ways. I will make... We've both said some silly stuff today. It's fine.
Yeah, it's fine. But that's also something which has to be part of the casting. Anyway, T90, we will see something from SongSong which you have most likely never seen or not seen for a long, long time on Arabia.
I'm sorry, I completely spaced out. You said from Slavs?
Yeah, from SongSong. He's going to go for scouts.
Yeah, man.
When was the last time you saw that? Well, against...
Velez, yeah. Velez against Daniel. But still, I'm happy to see it.
We at least have one player who's not going for the men-at-arms.
Yeah, I like it. Wait. Okay. He's going to gold.
No! No! What?
Ruined!
His
he's
build...
gonna go archer defense, I think.
His build was indicating the scouts play. Well, I gotta say, it's not going to be men-at-arms.
That's good. That's a positive.
Yeah.
And also, it is a good call for him to expect the man-at-arms here. Because he didn't actually have it scouted. He just saw the barracks.
Yeah.
But I think he knows something is on the way now. Now, if this was Doubt, Doubt would have already walled from, like, the edge of the map to his gold. Or he would wall diagonally from the north of his woodline towards, like, where his other palisade is next to the gold. So, I'm curious to see if the man-at-arms actually get value. Some players are more creative than others with how they wall up.
If we're talking about the most creative person in terms of walling, which name pops into your head?
Honestly,
I have
Doubt
one.
Or Chris.
What?
Doubt or Chris, but it's not creative in a good way sometimes.
It must be MBL.
Most creative. Are we talking full wall? Oh, MBL. Okay,
it must be MBL.
Yeah, that's true. It has to.
What is that?
They do. Okay, so the thing that like Doubt and MBL and Chris don't hesitate to do is they go for like the egg walls.
The good walls, yeah.
The egg walls that are like in a weird circle. Like they don't small wall.
Yeah.
Like SongSong, this is a small wall.
Yeah.
But they go egg walls.
Yeah.
That's the way to describe it.
I think egg is the best name you could give it.
Or like a bubble or some weird.
Yeah, whatever. Yeah. Like, yeah, maybe bubble even better because bubble has disformations. Egg usually is oval. I don't know how it's called in English. So yeah, the good old bubble. But I like the egg one.
I have people saying potato walls. That's probably accurate. Potato.
Yeah. Okay,
well,
we
hey,
have...
the farms are faster for slabs, and
Yep.
they're going to start being placed soon for SongSong, and he's completely defended from this attack.
Yeah, 100%. He didn't take any crucial damage in the process. And ACCM, I don't think he will be too happy with the fact that he went for the man-at-arm upgrade. We have Blacksmith coming up now as well for ACCM. He is killing the Scout though, and that Scout is going to reign supreme here against those archers and skirms.
Yeah, SongSong may be a little disappointed now that the Scout hit the TC, and now the Skirmisher's just running underneath the TC, and yeah, that's not looking too hot.
Yeah, yeah, definitely not. How do you then? What do you feel about the lovely forest which ACCM has here on the left hand side?
You mean the wood line that he's Oh,
Yep.
Is that a bug? I think that they're trying to go to the wrong lumber camp and they can't access that one.
Which? What? Oh, you mean
villagers?
SongSong. Ah, yeah.
Oh, yeah, SongSong's villagers are trapped there. I
Yeah.
thought that's what you were talking about. They're just completely trapped.
Yeah, I was talking
they're
about
stuck.
that. Yeah, I was talking about that.
And they won't show up as idle when that happens, Jordan. This could be awful.
Yeah, these are literally three villagers even idle.
3.
Yeah.
And they're just stuck.
Yeah.
Somewhere Nikov is going to be like, now someone knows how it feels.
That reminds me of Nikov as well, where he was having, I think even, he had 2 minutes of ult time on his wood line, right?
Yeah, like his villagers just stop working sometimes. And that one, this was a bit different because they didn't stop, but they got stuck. And okay, SongSong, he noticed it.
Yeah, but that's...
And he's going to move out with a counter attack now.
Yeah, but that's maybe 80 or 100 wood, which he's missing now because of those villagers being idle. And that is just super important, that whenever you're having the situation where you're quick walling yourself from the man-in-armor aggression, and you feel like, okay, you have fended that one off, you need to ensure that your economy is running smoothly. And yeah, because, you know, in the heat of the moment, sometimes you just quick wall one tile too narrowly to your drop-off point, and then villagers get stuck in the process. And yeah, you have to be cautious there.
And that's another reason for the MBL walls, right? Because that doesn't happen. And you know, everyone's got their own ways of playing it. But the thing here is, yes, man-at-arms could possibly be seen as a waste, but what you did ensure is that you didn't take any heavy damage early because you had the aggression. And so Wheelbarrow's been free for ACCM. He's got plenty of farms. He's got a ranged army to defend from SongSong's ranged army. And Crossbow is not really the unit composition you're going to want in the long term with the Slavs.
No, not at all. Usually what you want to do there is transition into Night Siege in order to make the ranged unit player really have a hard time defending. But in order for that to be successful, you need to be up faster than ranged unit player, because if you're not able to do so, then he will be able to put on the aggression, and then you are forced on the other side to defend.
Yeah, I think SongSong stayed at that wall from ACCM for too long.
Yep.
He was there, and he just waited, and now ACCM's here, and ACCM's killed almost everything. And all ACCM really wants to kill is the archers.
Exactly. He doesn't care too much about the skirms. The archer is the more important unit here. And I gotta say, ACCM, he's just so good with the micromanagement of these ranged units. I've played a lot of practice games against him in my life already, and yeah, that's something which is a huge characteristic for him.
Yeah, he's doing his best here to micro down these skirms. Now we have scouts added for SongSong, which delays his cast age even more. He just added 1 scout, and I feel like he was caught in between 2 ideas here. He was like, I need to add scouts to take the skirms, and then he lost a lot, and he was like, oh no, he's going to be cast age faster. So it's best to commit. You either commit to make the 3 scouts, or you don't make them at all. Being in between means you didn't make the farms because you made the stable, or you know.
And as
you're not going to have the map control. So
and as you said, it delays your cast age time. And having the cast age is so important, because in Age of Empires 2, the timing attacks, they might not be as important as in other games, but it has proven throughout the last years that it has gotten a lot of importance. And especially on Arabia, where it's open, when you're having a 15 crossbow mass, then you can get into your base, into your opponent's base, then you just crack it. And yeah, ACCM, he's losing archers on the other side now as well. But he should be still okay with the trade there. And I'm not entirely sure. Yeah, he will go for crossbow. So he wants to retreat and get back home to safety.
He's going to add a stable now, considering maybe to make a knight because of the skirms. A little sloppy for ACCM. I feel like losing 2 archers there is something that shouldn't happen.
Yep. I agree.
But here's a question for you, Jordan. Neither of these players have used the market, right? Neither of these players have bought or sold anything. Yep. And I mentioned earlier that can happen a lot on, like, you know, the King of the Desert Arabia. We saw it a lot. Yep. Do you think that's just a player preference, or do you think that maybe this woodline having some bigger, this map having some bigger woodlines has played a role?
It definitely has played a role there. I would say so. Yep.
I mean, I really think that walling is part of the game. It's an important strategic part of the game. Mm-hmm. And I have been saying for a bit that, you know, having Arabias, which are a bit more closed off, this is maybe an example, leads to more strategies being possible.
Yep.
And so the fact that we saw knights and skirms earlier, and, you know, every game hasn't been crossbow. I think the final weekend to King of the Desert, for example, was literally, there wasn't a single scout rush. Every single game was the same opening. What I'm getting at here is I'm actually really happy that we're seeing different strategies, but oh no, there's a hole, and ACCM's going to run right in it.
Yeah, SongSong should be able to wall behind that. He will not take too much damage, and I think overall it should be even better for him. Then, like, he could have even killed these archers. Yeah, maybe that would have been a bit too much. But, you know, I totally agree with the fact that this super open King of the Desert, for example, is a very good example for that. It invites, obviously, the idea of hyper-aggressive plays, but the problem is, it feels like Age of Empires 2 is at a state where you're only able to play 1 or 2 styles. Either you go for the pre-milled rush into the faster fuel age with the archers, or you go for the man-at-arms into archers. And you don't see scout plays, that's just not working against other openings. And that's where you also saw a lot of 1 TC plays, abusing the market, getting the crossbow numbers, hitting your opponent at the crucial spot, and then snowball it from there. And that's why I also like to have Arabia a bit more walled, a bit more closed, because then, as you mentioned, you have more option for strategies.
Yeah, and that's what we have here. I mean, SongSong's making knights, SongSong's making skirms, but he really has to make sure that siege does something, because he is going to be so far behind economically, both in eco upgrades, but also with villagers here, as, you know, this is the moment of the game. You know, this is the moment where Thumbring can be useful, but we weren't always seeing it before. It's all about the eco for Vikings.
Oh, and T90, he spotted the siege because of the house being attacked.
Oh, jeez.
Oh, no.
Oh. Yeah, and the fact that ACCM has knights is so important here.
Yeah, for sure. And I love the Knight Edition, right? Because now he will have the tools to fend off against the siege. And the wood is a threat for ACCM. He might maneuver, and yeah, that's exactly what he's doing. And now the full aggression is going to kick in for SongSong. And at this position, I think it even makes sense to abandon the TC. Because saving that one could be very costly for you. Because there are monks behind, there's siege in there as well. And if you don't have siege yourself, that's going to be a tough task to accomplish. But he has still better army. Yep, go ahead.
The longer that ACCM waits, the worse this is going to get. So he needs to deal with this before the monks arrive. And here he is.
Oh, he will kill the mangonels.
What's the important thing here? But how many crossbows will he lose? And will he lose a knight? He does. There's still a large army for SongSong.
Yep.
And the knights for ACCM, oh god. I feel like he should be losing more here, but SongSong just didn't attack there.
Yeah, he did not attack. And the mangonels, it felt to me that they have been completely wasted.
What is that town center?
What? That is the MBL town center, man.
SongSong, you're crazy, bro. What are you doing?
How?
He's going for conversions? Why would you town center that?
Dude, I would never in my life even come up with that idea of making a TC there. Like, never, ever.
Well, you seem like a pretty reasonable man, Jordan.
Whoa.
This is like suicide. Like, if you want to continue this push, that's fine. But you're not. This TC isn't going to help you. And it wasn't looking like you were going to clear this push anyways.
Yep.
it's like the villagers were told to go forward and to build military buildings, and they wanted to rebel. It's like mom and dad told them they needed to be a forward villager, and they're like, no, we want to be regular villagers, like everyone else. We want to bring in gold.
I want to do something chill here. Don't want to fight at the open area all the time. That's way too risky. Yeah, but T90, I was laughing about it, man. Now he has a good fortification with the TC. Even 3 villager garrisons. So that's extra damage right there for SongSong.
Okay, if that's a good fortification, then okay, I can't make the joke right now, but that's not a good fortification, man. That's an invite, right? That's hey, come eat my TC.
I know.
ACCM's and apparently this is common in Vietnam, but his actual name is Huang. His first name is Huang.
Yeah.
So he's gonna Huang. He's like, okay, I'll just eat your TC.
Yeah, exactly. Like, I feel like whenever your name has something related to Huang, you have extra powers if it's about killing TCs. I'm not sure how you feel about that one, T90.
That must be. Yep.
And look at how he's going ham at the TC, right? Like, there's no stopping right now.
And you don't even, like, normally you clean up a fight and you need to counterattack, but there's no need to counterattack when the enemy's base is at your base now.
That's a good
point.
Like,
yeah. I'm right here already. Wow, this is convenient.
Yeah. However, right now, you know, I think SongSong will be happy with the fact that this is a night war and Slavs are obviously excelling in this one a bit more because Bloodlines is missing for Vikings. However, if we're looking at the economy, we're talking about 64 villages against the 89. We have the same wood upgrade, the same farm upgrade, but also in addition to that, ACCM will be able to drop off the castle, and that castle is the get out of my base castle.
Yep. Now, the knights are looping around, but there is nothing from SongSong to deny that castle. So those villagers, what are they going to TC drop the other gold or something? I don't know. But yeah, he has enough knights to pull this back and defend from this. And he actually just clicked longsword. Oh, that was a misclick. Okay, he's now clicked pikeman, which makes sense.
Yeah. And this is just a massive lead for ACCM. He has handcard, obviously, for free, and Slavs. He doesn't have wheelbarrow right now. And if once the pikemen, if he has around 8 pikemen, that's all which he needs to counter SongSong's aggression. And he also has botkin, so the TC is actually doing a lot of damage to those knights as well. And it feels like SongSong is on a timer here right now.
Yep, definitely is. Like, yeah, in theory, he could obviously make skirmishers, but you know, there's not many skirmishers, plus the opponent's still got knights. Berserks would actually be a good addition. If you've got the food and the gold for it, Berserks mixed in with pikes and knights wouldn't be too bad. And no, it's not like SongSong has been on 2 TCs. He's just now on 2 TCs because the other TC was in the middle of nowhere, and he's still going to try. He actually has a lot of more knights than I expected him to have.
Yep.
But I think if this gets cleared up, ACCM is definitely going to win this game.
Yeah, especially ACCM's economy is out of the roof. Like, he has 104 villagers with handcard. And that is an amount of villagers where you could even claim that this is enough to go Imperial Age even. So his economy is just super healthy. And we see SongSong now. He's trying to put everything in one basket. He's trying to get the Pendant Arm upgrade now as well. So he wants to get the combination of Longsword plus Knights. And in the meanwhile, adding the Ram in order to get the TC down. But, you know, ACCM, he's trying to get another cast as well. He has 5 on stone, 300 stone in the bank. And army-wise, 37 against 25. It's just looking very, very rough for SongSong. And it is increasing the more the time goes by.
I love the choice to get Iron Casting because that applies to all your melee units.
Yep.
And he's got double melee here. If he were to try and get armor, he'd have to get 2 separate upgrades, which would take more resources and take more time. And that seems to be the upgrade that's going to mean he'll fight. Because here he comes. And he probably will lose a knight, maybe even 2. But I think if he sends all of his military forward, he will end up clearing this.
He lost 1 knight against 2 monks, so that's very good. But SongSong, in the meanwhile, he's now forced to retreat, and he has to abandon the position. And SongSong, for example, he went for the armor upgrade on the infantry instead of going for iron casting here.
Yep. I mean, he's going long swords, which is actually not a bad play on paper
Yes.
against the pikes, but there's too many steps that he's skipping here. You know, like the economy aspect hasn't been there. This is all in, and the opponent still has archers, plus has the potential to make berserks, plus could even go for their own long swords if we're being honest.
Yeah, like
So,
they can do anything right now.
Yeah.
And now the pikemen should be cleaned up, but oh, okay, SongSong has decided. Oh no, that is too painful to spectate right now.
It feels like he's hiding the longswords, though. So ACCM doesn't
is.
seem to know, which is kind of funny.
But now a castle will come up as a defensive tool for SongSong in a second as well. 626 stone. That's just the lovely amount. Does he have a market? I guess he does, yes. And he, in theory, could buy himself a castle just for the extra precautions.
Yeah, he might. ACCM might panic a little bit here because those longswords are going to take a good fight. Yep. But he also is taking out an entire town center. So.
Yep.
Yeah, that's not the first time we've said that this game, Jordan.
Yeah, it's the second time, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
And SongSong
and the GG's called.
Is calling the GG, and that means that ACCM is. I always say ACCM. I don't know why. ACCM.
Because you see ACCM.
Yeah, exactly. And yeah, that means that he is going to go on to the winners match.
Yeah, and I think he deserves it here. Honestly, I think there was a lot of potential for SongSong in this particular game. I think that his opening was very good, but I think staying forward with his one army and losing all of his archers was a mistake, as well as adding the stable when he did. I think if he has a faster castle age, even by 30 to 60 seconds, I think the Siege Knight Skirm push could have actually worked out really well. It was just the timing on it, and also the fact that in the draft he gave his opponent Vikings, Jordan. Which there's gotta be civilizations out there that are worse than Vikings on Arabia. I'm sorry. He should not have given him Vikings.
I think so. And yeah, it's just not a civilization which I would be comfortable facing against, because they have so many great tools, great possibilities, which we have analyzed in this game. And I would agree there, T90. There should be other civilizations which should have been a better fit there. But then again,
positive is that you're still alive in the group if you're SongSong. You do have to win your next match, which is the elimination match, and you know there's always a chance that you're going to get to redeem yourself. And I think we've seen a lot of that in the first round, where players are thinking, "Oh, okay, let's never give that person that civ again. Okay, let's not play this way." You know, they're figuring it out, even though they did have to qualify to get here.
Yep, for sure. And also the tournament itself, it's rather complex. So many maps, and then also drafting the civilization for the opponent. It is definitely something you have to get into.
All right. Well, the next one's going to be fun. This is going to be possibly a first for you and a first for me as well, as we will be casting Jordan versus Nikov alongside Jordan.
That feels so awkward.